If you don't stop this drug habit, you're going to be dead. Something about the conversation of death and the contraction in which life delivers up for man gives him the opportunity to make a new decision, live or die.
The facts doesn't match your truth that you created within, and the distance is so big that you kind of like breaking in, and then suddenly something comes in, and then you start like a little baby, like a crawl, like a walk.
So no matter what you produce, no matter what you hunt down in performance, it will always lead new becomes normal. Normal becomes numb. And when it becomes numb, we're faced with two choices.
Because it's just speak to yourself, speak to your own ego, speak to your own heart is the hardest thing. And being alone, being truly alone with yourself, like date yourself, be with yourself, it's a hard thing. Welcome to the Inner World and Outer World podcast. Today I have Garrett White. And by the way, guys, I'm so excited because we already done the podcast and it's not on the camera. We just, we started the connection before he walked in, and it was supposed to be like 5 minutes, and then we're supposed to share what we got to share. We're still going to try to do our best. Do it. But I think our conversation became like 5 minutes to, I think we've been talking for an hour and a half or even more. Yeah. So now, I don't know, we'll see how it goes, but, hopefully you're going to get something valuable. But now I'm upset. I'm gonna change something. I learned something that next time, like when I have guests, I'm gonna give them the microphone so they can start recording the podcast when the second we started, because we went deep. I think
we did this. That was a precursor. That was the before the podcast.
But what do you think?
That was the Soulcast.
But we immediately become vulnerable, and we just share our story and our struggles, and people don't do that.
No.
And I think that's where we found the connection immediately. And I want you guys to feel it, like the energy in the room was like unbelievable. So hopefully we're going to put some stuff that you guys going to like it. And we're just going to talk like we always talk. I'm going to have Garrett take the front rail. I'm going to sit in the back and just listen. And so, Garrett, I'm going to start, okay? Because I watched the story.
Yeah.
You know how... You changed, because you told me the story now in the kitchen about how you went to the seminar sitting in the car with the backpack, not having, and now you're sitting helping millions of people. You're the voice of a man. I look up to you. I listen to all the stuff that you put out, and just how it went from like nothing to who you are today. And by the way, I'm not selling you on Garrett, guys. I always say I'm selling you on you. But I just want to.
Well, listen. Our conversation in the kitchen, like I told you, if I come here just for you and I to connect and have that conversation, that was good enough for me.
Thank you.
So what we're going to give you right now is a rundown. It won't be the same thing, because it can't be the same thing. It never can be. But we're going to talk through some ideas and concepts as a man that could possibly give you guidance and give you power and give you the ability to actually experience the life that matters. One of the challenges that exists right now is the fact that men have looked to other men who have wealth, who have money, who have a perceived power, and they've looked at it through an illusion. No different than I did. I grew up in a trailer park. I had no money. This is what I searched for. Money was my God. This was what I thought would answer all my problems. And I got it. And I got it young, 30. And just like you, I got the money, and then everything fell apart. So I was in the banking world in 2008. Everything collapses. I'm dumb. I'm not a good entrepreneur, but I have a large company led by a bunch of idiots. We were salespeople. We just knew how to sell stuff. So when everything receded, this began my walk. And every man has to have a walk in the wilderness. To actually become who you're called to be requires a season of isolation. It requires a season of frustration, of stress, possible suicidal ideations, a place where you go into the darkest place of your soul, where you are confronted with you.
Why we have to go through the process?
Great question.
Why? Like, I went through it. I almost, I almost become the statistic. I almost become the number 4.5 years ago. On this boat, I almost took the boat and took the last dive. And why? Why we have to hit the bottom of the bottom and to wake the fuck up?
To wake up requires a decision. For most men, they cannot make hard decisions until the world they have created becomes impossible. to live anymore. To consciously choose to die, to consciously choose to lay your life down and to allow a new life to be raised up. To consciously choose that in abundance is one of the most difficult experiences, if not nearly impossible, for most of mankind.
That's why we have so many suicides.
And it's why you hear always the backstory of implosion, affairs, drugs, chaos, implosion financially before a man chooses to rise. Men will sit in marriages, not showing up, not being the man they know they can be, should be, designed to be, and they won't shift until their wife shows up with divorce papers, or she cheats with another guy and he finds out, or he walks in on her. Guys won't change their physical bodies until their doctors say, if you don't get rid of all this fat, you're going to die in a year. If you don't stop this drug habit, you're going to be dead. Something about the conversation of death and the contraction in which life delivers up for man gives him the opportunity to make a new decision, live or die. That's why so many producers can be in a place where they won't do what's required until their back is against the wall because they've trained themselves to create from fear. How do I create? I create when the pressure's on. I'm at my best when the pressure's on. And when the pressure's on, I perform my best. We say this about athletes. Athletes produce a performance. And when their back's against the wall, the greatest basketball players, soccer players, football players, always are the guys who are clutch under pressure. They've learned how to perform under pressure. So until a man has pressure from the outside, most will not shift until the pressure from the outside makes it unbearable to live anymore in the current reality. Lose the weight, fix the money situation, repair the marriage, or get divorced, find a new woman. Then they'll do things. Why is it? This is the code of man. This began with Adam. This didn't begin with you and I. We were genetically coded this way. Adam was the first man to contract under the pressure of life. Eve partook of the fruit, partook of something new, and Adam had a chance to hold a masculine frame of certainty for her and for himself. But he didn't. He collapsed. Not judging it, we all do the same thing. This was the first father, the first man who collapsed, hid from God, blamed his wife. This is the pattern of man. Pressure builds, collapse to darkness, feel guilt and shame, blame someone else. In this case, most guys blame the woman they're with. It's her problem. The number of guys I've met who are on relationship or marriage number 4, and I'm like, tell me about the first 3. Oh, I was married to some crazy bitches. Bro, all women are crazy bitches, but you're probably the craziest bitch that exists because you keep pretending like it's not you. So is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Is it probable? No. It's not probable.
And I just want to tell you, that's how truth it is. My first wife told me, I don't care about the money, I want you. Bullshit. I got divorced. Second wife said the same thing. Bullshit. Then my kids disown me, tell me the same thing. Bullshit. Until my current one told me that, I'm like, what the fuck? It took me so many warnings. I didn't get the sign.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening until I was.
What do you think caused the listening the third round? Like, what was different about you as a man? You've obviously, you learned, you grew, you evolved, and then something. What was different the third time? Your wife's name is Jennifer?
Jessica.
Jessica. So what was different about how Jessica presented it, or what was different about you in receiving it this time?
She gave me permission to be me.
Tell me more about that.
She gave me permission to be myself.
How did she do that?
So, number one, when I was drinking, she let me drink. She did not judge me for my drinking. She knew I'm going to reach a point that I'm going to say I'm done. Okay? So suddenly I quit drinking. I quit drugs. And when she told me what she told me, like, I don't care about all the life. I care about you. At that time, I was sober. I was already in pain. I could not figure out the answers, but I was completely sober because I wasn't drinking. I wasn't doing any drugs. I wasn't working. I wasn't, sedating with Ironmans, with workouts. I was completely present in this moment. And that time, I got the message. I can go another woman, but like you said, fourth one. You did say 4. I'm like, shit, I was there. Mm-hmm. I almost was there because she was packing and leaving. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is me. It's you right. My first one was right. The second one, the kids, and now is the third one doing the same way.
So look at
And
the
I
word.
have to look at inside.
Yeah.
But this was like at that time I still live in denial, Garrett. I mean, I'm a fucking bitch, right?
Yep.
But then it's like, but it was already not fucking bitch. It was like fucking bitch. Oh shit, it is me. And then I start, analyzing and going deep and trying to figure it out. But first, I call my friends. I look for the validation. I was bitching, I went on my rant. Some of my friends, yeah, she's a bitch. And some of my friends, dude, we tried to tell you. And then suddenly second validation and third, oh, it's me. And I'm still on a journey though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still on the journey, just so you know. It takes the time to reprogram yourself.
Yeah.
Because, I'm going in the journey, and then suddenly I go back to the old patterns. And then again, and then it starts again, and that's,
Well, look at the word that you used too, which was presence.
yeah,
There was no sedation
nope,
in work, drugs, or alcohol.
yeah,
There's no sedation in fitness.
nope,
And all the patterns that allowed you to stay in performance were gone. And in presence, for the first time, you could hear the truth, not of Jessica, the truth of God speaking through her. Prior to that,
I
couldn't hear
call
it.
her my angel. I really do.
Yeah.
I call her my angel.
Well, my wife and I have been together for 23 or 24 years, but we've spiritually and emotionally been divorced 6 or 7 times. We have a massive
walk
gap
me through this one.
because there's seasons where she's like, "Fuck this guy, I'm not hanging out with him," and I'm like, "Fuck her, I don't want to be in this marriage." She's probably the wrong woman. He's probably the wrong guy. And then we have these seasons where we pretended like we were happy and we used money, etc. But my presence came when, after 8 years of being married, the financial wealth I had built was gone. Sedation was gone. The money was gone. I finished Ironman World Championships in 2007, 6 months before I lost everything. So the distraction was gone. Same as you. Now I'm present with myself.
So we spoke for an hour and a half. You didn't tell me anything about Ironman.
Yeah, I did Ironman for 3 years. I
Brother.
did ultras for 3 years. Did marathons for a couple of years. I was a big ultra sport guy.
Come on, we were escaping reality, right?
Escaping.
Come on, brother.
Escaping.
So what happens is when I go for the training and I'm disappear for hours and hours and
Yeah.
hours, I don't want to deal with this shit.
Yeah. Oh, nothing like a 100-mile ride to clear
Right.
your brain.
Fuck, like 5,
Yeah.
6 hours, like a day. It's like meditation, like a daydreaming, And I spoke to myself, be with myself, go through it, and it's like go through so much physical pain. I thought that I'm sick in the head. Why I like the burning, like the itching, it's like, but I didn't want to deal with the reality. I really didn't.
I didn't either. After we lost everything, Ironman was done in 2007, and then everything was imploding, and a friend of mine was running ultra marathons, which were 50 to 100-mile races, 100-mile plus foot races through the mountains. I thought, okay, I'll get into ultra running. And my wife, about the end of 2008 into early 2009, she looks at me, she's like, "What the fuck are you running from?" I was like, "What are you talking about? I'm not running from anything." She's like, "You're literally putting on your shoes to go run for 4 hours. You are running from something. What are you running from?" I was like, "I'm not running from anything. Fuck off." And I put my shoes on to run. That run was the first time deep in the mountains on a trail run, heading into dusk. It was getting dark, brought my headlamps. It was the first time I heard a voice inside of me. Like I heard a voice. It's what I called it for 10 years. I didn't call it God. I didn't call it Christ. I called it the voice. There was something that started talking to me. And if you know this from Ironman, there's a place where you can't listen to music. You can't listen to podcasts. You don't want to talk. No. You're just in a breathing zone. You hear your breath, your heartbeat, your pump. You go, everything shuts off, and you're in a tunnel with just yourself. So this voice starts talking to me on that run. And this became my addiction. I started running to hear this voice, but I couldn't hear it until I was exhausted after 2 hours of running. Then it would turn on again because my mind would clear and I would start to hear it again. This same voice is the voice that told me to turn on a camera, same voice that told you to turn on and do this podcast. A voice turned on to me around 2010 and said, you have to share this. But what the fuck was I going to share? I didn't have anything. All my shit was gone. I was living in a rental house in Gilbert, Arizona called Shamrock Estates. There were no shamrocks. There were no estates. It was just this little tiny residential neighborhood out in the middle of cow pastures, and we'd run there to hide from the world. So I didn't feel the pressure. And I'm sitting there like, okay, I need to turn a camera on. What the fuck am I going to say? Who am I to say anything? Look at my life right now. My wife hates me. Little did I know she was saving money in a bank account to leave me.
To leave you.
She had launched her hair brand and was stockpiling 20, 30 grand in cash a month while I'm trying to figure out the fuck I'm doing, millions and millions of dollars in the hole, owe all these people this money, partners all go bankrupt. And meanwhile, my wife is planning to leave. And she should have. I'd had an affair. I just was not a good human. Like the only reason she stayed with me because she didn't have money and she was so young and she had 2 babies. I'm thankful to God that she did. Thankful to God. It was God's plan for that to happen. But nonetheless, the scarring that I created on this woman, like as entrepreneurs, we think about as men like, well, what do I go through? And then you turn it, and I'll ask my guys all the time at Wake Up Warrior, I'm like, what do you think it's like to be fucking married to you, bro? Look how up and down you are. Look how reactive you are. Look how scared everybody is of you. Look at how you show up. You imagine being a tiny 105-pound woman married and hooking her trailer up to your fucking semi-truck? She doesn't know if you're going to run this bitch off the freeway, you're going to crash into a wall, you're going to power brake for some reason and flip the trailer again. So she's sitting there in fear trying to say nothing. And for women that don't produce and make money, it's terrifying. They can't speak the truth to these reactive assholes. Because if the truth comes out, it's received as a weapon and a declaration of war. And now you freak out as a dude. You're like, fuck you. Do you know what I do for you? You know what I've created?
Oh, I love
Look
that.
at the life I've created for you.
Yeah.
You're so ungrateful.
Yeah,
Rah, rah, rah.
yeah. And then you find a friend who validate you.
What do you think? Fuck her.
Yeah, fuck her. Find another bitch. It's like, yep. You know what? There's 2 things. Oh my God. Dude, that was, holy shit. Dude, I want to talk about the voice.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about the voice.
Yeah.
And then I want to go. So, Garrett, with me, I heard the voice. And it was funny. I used the same way. There's the voice. So I'm laying in bed for like 40, 50 days, right? I don't want to get out. And then I'm like, motherfucker, if you're depressed, you want to kill yourself with everything around you, then you got to get up and share the story. Literally, when the voice spoke to me, I didn't know what it was. It was God, Jesus. I have no fucking idea. The voice inside. Literally, a minute later, Jessica walks through the door, fucking open the curtain. I have this like a dark, like blue, navy blue curtain. Open the curtains. I'm like, close the curtain. And like, and she goes like, get out of the bed. It's like, I'm sick. Leave me in this bed. And I'm like mad, like I want to kill her because I see the lights coming into the room. Literally 30 seconds after I heard the voice, which at that time I didn't know it's just a voice. And then she uses the same words. You help so many people, you cannot help yourself. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, are you fucking with me right now? Mm-hmm. Like, I heard the same thing twice in a minute and a half. And I'm like, fuck. I was in the bed, like ready to just end my life. And I just got out of the bed and it was like, but that was the first time I acknowledged the voice.
This voice itself, it's in every man. It's just most of us have not been trained to listen to it. We don't know what it feels like. That's when people say, I ask people, do you talk to God? And they're like, yeah, I pray. I said, I didn't ask you prayed. Yeah, I meditate. I didn't ask you if you meditated. I said, do you talk to God? Well, what do you mean? These are devout Christians, devout Jews, Muslims that I know. You've been practicing your religion this entire time for decades. I ask you one simple question. Do you talk to God, and does he talk back? That's it. And this is when I started to realize that these conversations with the voice were conversations. At the time, the universe led me to a book called Conversations with God from Neil Donald Walsh.
Okay.
I'd
Read
never
it.
heard of this book before.
Read it.
And everyone I shared that book with is like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, dude, what if it's real? What if the stuff you read about in the Bible about Moses and Abraham, what if the things we read about in these books we call scripture, what if God didn't stop talking? What if we all stopped listening? Distraction with cell phones and scrolling and constant comparison and constant stress. What if God's been trying to talk through Jessica, through Danielle, for years, through people around us, but we can't hear them? We can't hear God.
But I couldn't hear the voice. I think I keep saying the God whisper. You gotta really quiet down and really go deep. And it's funny, when I was running, when I was doing the Ironmans, when I was running, I have the self-talk.
Mm-hmm.
So that was I did not recognize those two voices. I loved it, but because it was my own, I thought it's my own voice.
Yeah.
You see, later, like 5, 6 years later, I recognized it was a different voice. That's why I loved it so much. That's why I love, like, when I swim, because there's, like, at least run and bike, not on the competition, but, when I train, I can, do it with the music. When I'm in the water,
It's just you and
there's
breathing.
just me and the water
Yeah.
and the voice. And somebody's listening right now. I said, what the fuck? Those dudes are delusional. Like, I don't have any voices. Like, dude, like, it's me. I'm responsible for everything. I control my own life. Like, I'm in the charge,
Well, and that's the attitude we've been taught. It's the attitude you were taught. It was the attitude I was taught, which is, okay, listen, I am the master of my fate and the captain of my soul, which at one level is true. We have agency and dominion as men to choose whatever we want. Get divorced, cheat, do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. There's consequences for it you cannot avoid. You can kill someone today.
You said it. You really said it. That it really shook me deep. You did say that it's like, you want to be, like, you want to be in control. You were screaming, you were yelling, like, like you controlling everything.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, and all the anger comes out, right? You're losing the temper. But at the end of the day, we want to be loved.
Yeah.
But we as a man, we cannot even describe it. It's like, what the fuck? I'm screaming, yelling, and then, well, I want to be loved. I'm a real baby. Then, like, because this truly was me. But I was expressing, this through the anger. And also Jessica is like, dude, you surround yourself by all the yes men. And do you want to be worshipped or you want to be loved? You want to be the people who's scared of you or the people who love you? And then in the beginning, I'm not going to lie to you, well, I want people to be scared of me, so that's how the shit gets done. But guess what? The shit gets done. People are scared of you, but guess what? My ship, my everything I built, the biggest asset, is also being destroyed. Yeah. Because the love and the light is from within, and that's what that's why I'm in the journey of rebuilding everything and healing, whatever you want to call it. But again, brother, like, when alcoholic says, like, I don't have a problem even though I'm drinking every day. The same that somebody might listen to the podcast right now and says, like, shit, I don't have those issues. But we know, like you and I, we know, okay, the issue will come. Just like, how do we bring the awareness that to not give in, not give up, give in and let, lose their control and surrender. And that's where the love and the...
I don't think that there are too many men who have ever been able to choose it without the pit. The entire Bible is filled with the two.
So what was your breaking
That
point?
was it. It was that year was the break. Those 4 years from 2009 to 2012 were my breaking and remaking years. And from then, it's been a break and remake every month, every quarter for 15 years. It's a decision.
So you got divorced spiritually.
Yes.
I love how you
Well,
say
it's wild because like people will come back and they'll look at me and my
Babe,
wife.
we're gonna listen to this podcast. What he said.
Exactly.
I'm gonna. So remember, that's me.
Because you think about it, if you look at the growth trajectory that you're on, and if Jessica is not on a growth trajectory, then your growth will create tension in the marriage. if Danielle, which she was 3 years ago, my wife, after the birth of our last daughter, 5 kids, she'd taken on fitness
I have 5 kids too.
competitions. Yeah, we're the same in that. She'd taken on fitness competitions after our 6-year-old, took on bikini competitions, won a bunch of trophies and titles. Then she was so hot, we went to Mexico. I got her pregnant again. So then we have our littlest one, and then she gives birth to that baby, and then within 12 months is competing and winning again. And my wife's rising in power. She has an 8-figure brand in the hair world. She crushes her, physically stunning, mother of 5. Just, she's all the things. But she was also growing in her own certainty and feeling in herself. And at the time, I was trying to get away from alcohol, so I started drinking these little feel-free tonics. They're like Kava Kratom, these little blue bottles. But I'm an addict, so it's like you're supposed to drink 1 every day. And I ended up drinking like 8 every day. Because I still could cognitively move. I have opioid tendencies. Like anything that moves in the opioid world, like I like it. My energy, etc. Cocaine, I didn't really need it because it got me too pumped. I'm already pumped as fuck. So I like to calm down, but still be in focus. And I didn't realize this was becoming such a problem, but my feelings had shut off. Like a barrier between me and my wife. So my wife's rising in her power and her spiritual truth. Physically on fire, business is crushing, now birthed 5 children, pregnant 6 times. And she comes to me 2.5 years ago and she puts her hands on my chest. She said, I need you to understand something right now. I can't feel you. I've tried to perform for you sexually. I've been your stripper in the bedroom. I've done all these things. I cannot feel you. And I haven't for almost a year. And what I'm telling you right now is if you don't snap out of this addiction, if you don't snap out of the place you're in, it's not that I'm going to cheat on you. We will not be able to work together, and arguably within a year to year and a half, we'll be done. Because my soul's not going to die under the contraction of yours. Now, mind you, I am leading Wake Up Warrior. 70,000 guys in Warrior at this time. Never pretended like I was perfect. Always put my shit out there and said, here's what I'm going through. And it taught me so much, but what it showed me was that same polarity that exists in relationship, which is when you have 2 growth-minded individuals, you have seasons of change where one is rising and the other has settled. And then that person rising has to make a choice. Collide with the person who isn't moving and continue to pull because that tension between those two is so fierce that there's only 2 choices. Contract back to who you were, or pull the other person up with you, or cut the cord and move on. The souls will not be contained. Our souls were born to experience themselves here. Yet so many relationships and so many guys have become either the dude who's the anchor and the woman is screaming with her soul to live. And she's either sedated. I see this when you go out to dinner and you're around people. You watch all the kids on the cell phones, dudes on the cell phone, girls on the cell phone. Everyone's sitting there at dinner. Everyone on their cell phones the whole time. Then you watch, I was seeing one night at a restaurant watching a woman. Only one at the table daughter didn't have her cell phone going. Had on the table. Dude's on the cell phone. Kids are all on iPads and cell phones. She's sitting there. And she's just looking around, and you can see the hopelessness in her face. Beautiful woman. Hopeless. Trapped in money. Trapped in wealth. Trapped in lifestyle. Trapped with a disconnected man. Who's providing everything except for the one thing that she actually needs. Presence and being seen. Not for her tits and ass, for her soul. Which is the same thing that us as men constantly are hunting for. Which is if I perform and I produce and I create the wealth and I have the body and I do the things, then maybe she'll see me. But then there's that little asterisk in the back of the mind. But if I didn't have all this fucking money, would she actually want me for me? I hear about this I'll live in a van down by the river story. But I have a wonder in myself, if I lost all of this again, would she actually stay with me? Or would she bounce to some other guy with more money? Would she stay in my deepest pit with me? Would she walk through my addictions with me?
Where do we get this story? Because it's funny, you sharing the story. It's my story.
Yeah.
It's my story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, motherfucker, are you talking to me? like, why are you looking at me? I know we have a conversation. It's like, it's my story. Like, it's a truly, like it's my story.
Yeah.
And it's not only mine. It's not only yours. No. It's everybody, like all the men is struggling. But at least we still have a time to say the story. There's so many 700,000 men commit suicide. They don't tell the story. But where does the program, where the programming started? That we have to, you use the word, I use mask. You use the word of performance, which is same thing. We're just
mask.
putting the, but where is performance? I like your word a lot. Where the performance stops, where there is trust.
Or look, if you look at the Bible and you look at Moses and you look at what happened to the Hebrews in Egypt, right? You have people who are born into slavery for 400 to 500 years. They didn't know anything else. They never knew any sorts of freedom outside of the Egyptian Pharaoh's rule. That's all they understood. If we were slaves, which at some level we were, and our parents were slaves, and our parents' parents were slaves, and our parents' parents' parents were slaves, to some kind of a system, which if you look at our current systems, education, politics, money, the way that our country is built, we were all born into a system of sedation, a system of control, a system of retraction. Then you add religion to it, and the guilt and the shame and the persecution that comes from not doing it right. Then you add pornography and the rise of OnlyFans and put all of the sexuality in it. And then you have the church bastardize it. And then you have the world turn everybody into whores. And you've got this two extremes existing: education, control, government, control, everything, control. And anyone as a man who had a voice, who had power, or had intensity and a true masculine frame as a young kid was sedated. Now they're actually popped the pills in the kids. When we were growing up, they didn't give us pills. They just said, calm it down. Now they're like, oh, that one's a wild one. Let's fucking drug him. He's got ADHD. We all had ADHD. Dude. Our whole world, our whole generation had that fucking shit. All of us. Intrusive thoughts. We had intrusive thoughts all day long.
That's why we addicts. That's why we high performance. You know that.
I know.
It's like, when we were sitting in my kitchen, we were talking like, dude, are we like in the next level? And we look at each other, it's like, but we are...
We're just another level of chaos and clarity. Yeah. It's like
but
equal clarity to chaos.
We want to share love and light and faith and surrender and connection and mostly presence.
But this is the piece that makes you calm. Yeah. It's the piece that makes me calm. Right? Buddha was trying to teach this principle, which was like the ability to let go, or the dharma, or the middle path. Christ taught the same thing, which is a straight and narrow gate. Which is, okay, how do I let go of pain and pleasure and pursue presence and power? How do I return to the Garden of Eden in the original form as man? How do I live in a place walking with God, unattached to the things of this world? Is that easy? Hell no, it's not easy. But that's why men don't do it. That's why it's easier to jerk off and look at porn than it is to have a hard conversation with your wife. It's why it's easier to try to just set up for the job or try to get lucky with Bitcoin than it is to actually build an empire like you did for 25, 30 years.
So there's another one, the instant gratification. You just another one. We want everything now. We don't want to earn. We don't want to, you know what I mean?
Imagine if, like, we sat down, we had a room of dudes here. And we said, here's the deal. Y'all want to get rich. We understand it. Y'all want to have tremendous sex with a woman that you love, and you want to feel wanted in a relationship. We get it. You want your kids to respect you and listen to you? We get it. You want to have a body that's fit and on fire? We get it. Okay, cool. So here's the deal. It's going to take 2 to 4 years to pull this off, maybe a little longer. Fuck this. There's got to be a faster way. It's like people on a freeway changing lanes every 15 seconds. And there I stay in the same lane, and they're swapping lanes the whole time, and I'm come right back on them right next to them after they did the chaotic, almost caused 5 accidents, trying to skip lanes and get to the new spot. And we're like, where are you trying to go right now? You have all this motion with no creation. You're just building and burning and building and burning and building and burning and bullshit. Doing what? What the fuck are you doing? What are you even doing? We don't know, because everyone around us is doing the same bullshit. Like we were eating dog shit cupcakes. You had a dog shit cupcake, and I had a dog shit cupcake, and the teams had a dog shit cupcake, and we've been eating dog shit cupcakes for a few weeks now. We stopped smelling dog shit because we are dog shit. Like cigar smokers. Yep. They don't smell their own smoke until they walk in the building, and then everybody's like, oh, shit, you guys have been smoking. What? How did you know? How did you know? You're like a walking hurricane of cigar smoke right now.
Dude, yeah.
So getting out of that is the difficult part, and that's the piece that you've done and you're doing. It's a piece I'm doing and have done, and that's what we're trying to get across to you. It's not going to be easy. It's going to hurt. It's going to last a while. And what is your alternative? What is your, legitimately, what is your fucking alternative? If you're fat, it hurts. If you're fit, it hurts. If you were in a disconnected marriage with no sex, it hurts. If you are in a deeply passionate relationship that comes with collision, it hurts. If you are broke, it hurts. If you're rich, it hurts. If you're disconnected from God, it hurts. If you're connected to God, you're more conscious, which means you're more aware, which it hurts. So the minute you can decide it's gonna hurt, period. And in between the hurt will be these pockets of peace. We're like, at least I chose this hurt. I didn't get bitch slapped into the pit to choose
Just
it.
give you guys definition. Doesn't matter which one you choose, it's gonna hurt, and you choose your hurt. And I love it because it truly with age and the wisdom comes the awareness,
Yeah.
the consciousness, and the pattern we choose.
Yeah.
And sometimes we want to go to the easy pattern, and we get to the other side, like you said, even with the money, and then you're like, fuck, I thought it's gonna be easier when I buy this house, when I have $1 million in account or $100 million account, and you there, and it still is the same, but you can pick and choose. But there's one thing I don't think it's connection with yourself, connection with God.
Yep.
Even though you have and you said it, it's like because your awareness is a lot bigger, and your consciousness and now you see a lot of stuff that you never seen before, because now you're connecting the dots. And how do you talk to yourself? The self-sabotage, it's like you have this aha moment, right? It's like, shit, why didn't I do this 10 years ago? Why didn't I listen to this 10 years ago? Why did I, like, somebody told me this, and then we still live in the regret, and we don't stop. Like, you know, with real estate, like, shit, if I invested in real estate 10 years ago, motherfucker, invest today. But if I invest 10 years ago, that will be, but today is the day. And the same thing with, I want to just talk to you about the connection with God, with faith, with doing the work. Because today is the day. Today is the only time, like, even like whoever listening, even we're recording, it's today is the time, like being in the moment. Like I always say, I couldn't be in the moment. You know, I could not be sitting with you, and like I always say the same thing. It's like I will be all over the place. I have this deal, I have this coming. You know, my kids are here, Jessica is here, and I will be like everywhere else, and just being in the moment. Explain the feeling, because like my words, like I will do mine, but your, like when you're in the flow, when you connected with yourself, connected with the God. Like how do you know? It's like for me the fuck yeah moment.
It's a different game, right? So when you look at performance, there's an adrenaline high to it. It's very physical, very mental, very logical. I'm going to push, I'm going to will my way. So if you're very strong in the mind, which you are and I am, which helps when people come from endurance sports or come from a hard childhood, come from hard situations, right? When you come from hard situations, it tends to be a drive and a hunger to go. Not for everybody, but those are true. That's why I hear so many stories from people who are down with nothing, who built it. That hero's journey story, we celebrate it in the U.S. We love it. We love hearing people that were in a horrible place and they built something amazing. But the presence side of it is what changes it, because presence itself actually accelerates creation. Because much of what performance is based on is a bunch of radical shit that you're doing, half of which doesn't matter at all. The sense of busyness, hustle, the grind factor that everybody's been preaching and that I lived for so long. If I grind harder and work longer, I'll create more. Not true. Same with going to the gym. People say, I'd worked out 3 times a day for 2 hours. Like, you're fucking killing, your body's not gonna grow. You need a good 90-minute training session. You need to eat right and sleep, and you'll get bigger. That's it. You know, but I went and did this class and this. No, you're training too hard.
You know what? I want to go back to the changing lines, because I'm the person. When I don't change the lane, I'm in it. I put on a cruise control. Suddenly, I'm still going to get to the same point, the same level, but I'm going to get it with the happiness, with conversation with myself, being present, you know, versus when I go change the lanes. I don't want to be with myself because I have negative thoughts. So I suddenly, and I'm guilty of it. I just done it. I just drove, you know, just to see you from my beach home. I was going crazy, you know, like going, changing lines. And then I'm like, it's funny you just said that. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Just, dude, relax. You have a self-driving car. You know what I mean?
Just let it drive you.
Just let it drive it.
Yeah.
And truly, and you said it, and I truly let the car drive, and I was like, why I'm doing this shit? Because I have negative thoughts in my head. I didn't want to deal with those thoughts. So I start distracting myself. I distracted myself enough. I almost caused an accident or two. Guilty. Just now, literally a few hours ago. And then I just get back to my line. I put the cruise control, and I sit it up. God, why I'm such a slow learner. It's like what the hell? Guess what? I enjoyed the rest of my ride.
But here's the fun part. Check this. So, like, if you take what you're doing, which you did, if you say, okay, I authentically, this is what I just did, and then you place that not at my feet, but at God's feet, and all truth is with God. All truth is with you, expressed with God. Like, the game is never about perfection. It's never that we're not going to do dumb shit. Every guy will do dumb shit, and you'll do dumb shit every day. And it won't ever end. You'll just do higher level dumb shit. And then sometimes you'll default to other low level dumb shit. God never asked anyone. The request has never been, I need you perfect. The question is, I need you present with me in everything. Adam hid in the bush from his action. Instead of standing in truth and power.
So, Garrett, the guilt and the shame.
Guilt and the shame is the game that pulls us out
level.
Every time.
So it's the lowest level of energy. Like how do we, brother, like, how do we stood up to the game and the blame, the guilt and the shame? Like, how do we, like,
first you
because
have to be
you
aware
need
of
to
it.
have, so awareness, right? And then how do you, like, admit it, become vulnerable first with yourself and then open up to somebody else? Because the shit, like, even you share with your marriage with this, and like, you know, I'm what the hell? It's like it
So
took us and cuts, but like, brother, come on.
Well, listen, most dudes won't share truth with each other.
Yeah.
They hide, they mask. They mask and hide. Most relationships are bullshit. They're very one-sided. We connect on what we want you to see, and we disconnect from what we don't want you to see. But the body cannot lie what the soul is hiding. Vibration, you can't lie. You can't. A woman can tell you something, a man can tell you something, and the more conscious you become, you can tell when they're lying. Not by the words they're saying, but by the energy you feel around them. There's a disconnection, a fracture between what they're being and their truth and what they're not saying. This is why I could be vibrationally off and say the right things to my wife, and she'll distance herself from me because I'm not safe. Even though all the words are there and the face is there and all the words are there, I'm not safe. So
the
when
safety.
a person,
So let me. So the safety is you build the selfie with you first,
Yes.
like the conscious level and conscious level.
Yeah.
Like you connect the mind, the logic with your heart, with your soul. So that's you got to first build the safety with you, and then
safety with what though? The truth, all of it.
The truth, and then what
Yeah.
happens is, and then our wives, our kids, everybody can feel it because we vibrate on the different energy.
Yes.
That's why, like us, like we connected like immediately. Even though it's funny, I want to say it, guys. We've been sitting next. It was 3 years ago. We just talked about it. 2 years ago, and we were on different journey, and we're literally we're sitting at the table, a round table, and there was like 10 people. So we were like literally touching each other. And because we were on a different journey, we did not connect it. Mm-hmm. And now it's funny, like, what the fuck? We just missed 3 amazing fucking years together, brother.
Yeah.
But we were not ready.
Not ready.
But the same thing, I think what you're saying is the same thing is with the wives. The same thing is with the kids. The same thing with all the employees. The same thing with all the people you run into. Because you're only going to attract the people that are on your level, on your energy level. Mm. I don't want to say money level, not energy, the frequency that we give. So
money mirrors a frequency. It doesn't create it. Like, it mirrors a frequency. That's why you're going to have people who have a ton of money.
Go deeper on that.
And they're still assholes. It doesn't matter. The money just exposed how much of an asshole
the money doesn't
they are.
amplify. I always say
it just exposes. It's a mirror. But if we come back to the point we were talking about a second ago, it's an important one, which is how does a person actually go to a place of being that honest with themselves just outside of thinking in their heads? Because it's not safe at first to share. Most men don't feel safe to share. Men have been told not to share. Men have been taught not to share dark shit, not to share emotional shit, talk about things they're scared about, terrified of. Every dude at some levels had the thought, has my wife cheat on me? Every dude's had the thought of, I'd like a threesome without my wife. Every dude's had these thoughts. There's not one that hasn't. Every dude's thought about dark, dark shit with their kids. They've had light thoughts with their kids. We are built as a machine to experience the polarity of darkness and light. But we've been taught, trained, and educated to not talk about it. Women talk about it. Men don't talk about it. If we talk about it, we get emotional. If you and I cried together, we're pussies, we're weak. What the fuck's wrong with you?
What the
How
fuck?
dare you? If you get open and honest with another man who's hiding truth, hiding secrets, hiding lies, he is exposed in the sharing of your truth, which will have him either attack, push you away,
Judgment.
or he'll do the dude thing. Bro, it's okay, dude. So, bro, you're good, dude. It's good. Bro, what she's really saying is, shut the fuck up, dude. You're making me uncomfortable about my shit. You're talking about your shit with me, which is triggering me to be aware again of all the bullshit I'm hiding, and this is making me uncomfortable. So what I'm going to masquerade it as, dude, you're okay, bro. Come on. You're okay. You're okay. So I had to find a way to help guys get to truth before they went to anyone else. How do I get you to be honest with you? It's not enough to sit around and meditate on it. You can't go do ayahuasca and do psychedelics and find it. You can find pieces of it. But how do I, on a daily basis, get you to be honest with your feelings, with your thoughts, dark, light, happy? Because even guys that don't share dark shit also don't celebrate great shit. They'll dim their light when they're doing amazing and pretend they're not. And then they'll hide their dark when they're fucking up. So what are they actually living and sharing with the world? Nothing. They just share the middle. Nothing. I'm good. How you doing? I'm fine. How are things going? Oh, bro, so good. So good. Truth is, he's getting his ass kicked in business. Or he's dominating, but either way, he's lying. He doesn't want to say it because he feels weird some kind of way of telling him how big he's crushing it. Or he feels bad talking about how bad he's being crushed. How's your marriage? Oh, it's fucking, it's good. It's good. I'm married up. I'm married up. When dudes tell me, I'm like, shut the fuck up. If I ever hear you say that one more time, I'm going to punch you in the dick and kick you in the face. Here's why. You just said your wife made a bad decision in marrying you, that she's better than you and chose you, that you're a loser that she just picked up off the street. I married up, man. I played past my, I kicked it past the goalie on this one. I'm just a good marketer. No, you're a bitch for talking down on yourself. Because you're talking down on your wife for choosing you, for choosing
Thank
you,
you for touching on
across
that.
the board.
So, okay, so how do we stop the talk?
Stacking. Stacking is a weapon that God led me to
What do you
7
mean
years
stacking?
ago. Stacking. I will tell you about it.
Okay.
I have thousands of guys that spend thousands. I coach 8,000 to 10,000 hours of coaching before 8 o'clock in the morning without one phone call. They work directly with God inside of Warrior app using our tools. We figured out how to get a man into a safe place where he can share his rage, anger, irritation, sadness, happiness, his joy, gratitude, appreciation, and all of this. How can I do it in a safe environment? Locked away in an encrypted piece of software that I have a conversation with myself in the beginning, which evolves to a conversation with God. But I can't have a conversation with God if I can't have a conversation with myself. So we train them how to have conversations with themselves through repetition and dealing with feelings and emotions in a safe container. And then if you and I are connected in a group, I share my stack, which is my typed up work of dealing with my shit this morning, with you. And you share yours with me. And all of a sudden we have the same moment we had in the kitchen. Holy shit, I'm not alone. Bro, you're as crazy as I am.
Yep.
Bro, you were fucking depressed too? Me too, dude. You were drinking every night? Me too. Holy shit. You were...
So we share the secret, and then we become the cold.
And then you realize that it's not a secret. Everybody has this. So once I get containment with that inside of stacking, which is again a tool that we teach a Wake Up Warrior, that tool then gives me power because I've worked through it. Now I can go have a conversation with my wife because I've worked through my shit. I've worked through it in a way that allows me to be calm. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Here are the facts where I'm at. Here's how I'm focused. Here's what I'm thinking about. Now from that place, okay, well, how did I get here? A series of static questions that we figured out over the last 8 years on how to help guys get to the bottom of what's going on, and then how to reframe reality, create new stories, new actions to move forward. I'm going this way. That doesn't work anymore. Okay, let's go this way. How do I do this? Hire a coach? You could. Go to a therapist? You could. Ultimately, you have the power in you to solve it. Doesn't mean you don't need coaches or mentors or podcasts and things. Listen, they help. But if you can't guide yourself, if you can't navigate yourself, you stand outside the Garden of Eden's power. You stand outside of God's presence because God has given you the power to do this with yourself.
Okay, so I'm going back to my. I didn't know how to ask questions.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to talk to myself. I didn't know where to start.
I know.
That's why what happened is I was more lost and more lost and more lost. By the time I addressed with somebody, this was the best shit ever. I mean, this was the best shit ever. But that took guts. I mean, enormous. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because, you know, like everybody have this version of me and I'm completely broken inside. So I didn't want to share it. So, and I know the advice is just fucking talk to somebody. You know, for me, I always say, like, go to outside bubble. Don't talk to your friends because, you know, because they might, you don't know what friends you have because, you know, you're a different space. You know, they might use this against you. But how, I want to just go deep with you a little bit. Like, when you alone, when you really like not when you do the work, like, you know, like not the beginner level, like you think you're really at the bottom of the bottom. You're depressed, you have anxiety. Let's say your wife left you, you alone, you broke. How do you talk to yourself first to get you out of it to speak with somebody? Because I mean, it's a huge step to speak with somebody. But
Step one is own the facts, not the feelings, not the truth, because the truth is constantly moving on people. What you and I called true 5 years ago, we don't call true now.
No.
How I was living 12, 13 years ago is not what I would call living now, but it was my truth then. But instead of using the word truth, we use a more useful word, which is what are the facts? When I observe my world, what are the facts that I see from my fruit? What's the facts in my body? Well, it's I'm drinking, that's what I'm eating, that's what my body looks like. Okay, what are the facts in my marriage? What are the facts in my relationship with God? What are the facts in my money? So we separated, we started teaching guys how to separate facts from feelings. I'm gonna put my facts over here, and then I'm gonna look at those facts and say, okay, well, how do I feel about those facts? Versus a jumbled cocktail of insanity of all my fucking feelings wrapped up with all my facts, and I can't tell the difference between what's true and what's false and what's a fact and what's my fiction. Separate. So we're trying to separate the feelings. Feelings are over here, facts are over here. That's a feeling. Don't talk to me about it. Facts. Let's measure it down like we're looking at a P&L. Your story doesn't matter. The numbers tell the truth. So stop telling me the story. Don't give a shit about the story. Tell me the numbers. Oh, we're at a loss. That number means we're losing. Okay, well, yeah, but no. Okay, now you can tell me how you feel about that number. How you feel about that number? Oh, I fucking hate it. Okay, good. Now let's look at your focus. What's been your focus that's led to those facts? What have you been telling yourself? What are the stories that you tell yourself that govern your behaviors? So we separate the facts from your feelings, from your focus. 3 separate categories, and your fruit sitting right in the middle. What are the facts about your fruit? What are the feelings about your fruit? What's been your focus that produced that fruit? Once a guy's owned truth, God steps in. Like an altar. I have to put the facts, my truth, on the altar with God. Fun part is God's not judging any of what you're doing. No judgment about your facts. You judge your facts.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, we all live in denial until we see the facts, right? And then the voice, let's use the voice, because the voice comes in when the facts doesn't match your truth that you created within, and the distance is so big that you kind of like breaking in, and then suddenly something comes in, and then you start like a little baby, like a crawl, like a walk. I gotta face the facts, not the truth, because like we can say like the truth. I always say with the glass, half full, half empty, and we're both right. You know what I mean? So,
well, if you look at this from a game of truth, I'm going to spin off what you just said. If we establish the facts of where we are, and we can own them, radical accountability. I did this to myself.
But then we find all the. But I love it. I love the conversation because it's when I'm going back. It's funny, like have the conversation. But what happened? I would not get shit out of the conversation, like 5 years ago.
Yep.
Zero. Like I would fucking think you like you fucking delusional. Dude. Just dude, you don't know my story. You don't know my truth. You don't know my facts.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, 3 wives fucking told you it's fucking you. Dude, nope. It's them. So the truth comes, the facts are different. There's completely to the breaking level. The voice comes. What next?
Well, let's take your word truth. The truth comes from God and shows you the next place to be. Okay, so from my facts and where I'm at, how do I feel about them? I don't like any of them. Okay. Why don't you like them? Well, because of this, this, and this. Okay, got it. Whose fault is it? Well, it's this person's. Whose fault is it? Well, it's my wife, it's my kids, it's the government, it's the president. Whose fault is it? Who created this? You created this. No one else, not your wife, not your kids, not your fucking business partner, not your CFO that stole $200 million. Nope, none of that. Because you were the one that hired him, and you're the one who married her, and you're the one that decided to put your penis in a vagina and squirt some cum and make a child. That's on you. Nobody put a gun to your head and said, fuck that woman and get her pregnant. You chose a moment of passion to come in that woman. Hence, your fault. Now, people take this on with fault and they'll feel like guilt and shame, and then they baptize themselves in guilt and shame, and so they don't get out. So we have to strip all those feelings out. And then from that place of presence and truth comes the greatest question ever. What do I want now? I don't want that. Okay, what do you want? If you go pull the 1,000 people, you and I went with the mic and the cameras, we went out on the streets here in Miami, we just started interviewing people. Hey, what do you want? We just rolled up to dudes. Hey, what do you want?
They don't know.
No fucking clue what they want.
Dude, the same thing you ask if you want to be happy, and they don't like it. What make you happy? And people don't know.
Don't know.
And it took me the same questions. But going back, sorry, Gary, I want to use you. I'm sorry, brother. I love you, but I want to use you because I'm huge about the inner world. The inner world, okay, affects everything outer world, and we have to program our inner world. But we are so broken. And the reason we're broken, that's what the outside world is also fucked up. And if there is some pieces from the outside world that are doing good, we find the validation, but at least this. And then that's what you're telling me. That's why those men are not ready to hear the voice because, well, at least I have a good business, or at least, you know, I have a good body. At least I still have a wife. At least I don't drink every day. I get shit-faced on weekend. At least I do recreational drugs twice a week instead of, you know, every day like my other friend Joe. So going back to the inner world, like how do we build it? Because life happened from inside out, not from outside in. But we were both so lost because we were looking for...
Our identity was always on the outside. So consider that the greatest truth that we're all returning back to
right there, go ahead,
is identity.
Yes.
When my identity is attached to things I do, when my identity is attached to the performance I give, when my identity is attached to things I have, the challenge is no matter how much I create, the following experience happens. In the beginning, it's new, makes me feel incredible. New woman, new romance, new house, new experience, new. Challenge with anything new, no matter how fantastic it feels. Just like you were saying, we're sitting at the table. Go to the greatest steakhouse in the world, eat the same elite ribeye every night. By the 30th night, you will be gagging at the idea of eating a ribeye.
Dude.
So no matter what you produce, no matter what you hunt down in performance, it will always lead new becomes normal. Normal becomes numb. And when it becomes numb, we're faced with two choices. Consciously shift to create a new experience, or destroy what we have so that we can crash back down to the bottom and then experience the illusion of growth again. Marriage 1, crash to the bottom. Illusion of progress. Marriage 2, crash to the bottom. Illusion of progress. Marriage 3, crashing to the bottom. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Something new, something new. But no matter how amazing Jessica is, no matter how much she loves you, no matter how much Danielle loves me, if new is not part of the equation, then it becomes normal and it becomes numb. If Jessica comes into the bedroom every night with high-heeled Louis Vuittons on, with thong bikini, top, sending you nasty, amazing pictures every day, and then she comes in, strips for you, dances for you, you guys fuck for 2 hours, this happens every night. As a dude, within 10 days, in the morning you wake up and go, dude, I'm kind of good, dude. Kind of good. I probably don't need it the whole show tonight. I probably don't need it at all tonight or maybe even tomorrow. And then she comes in and she's in the lingerie and she's ready to go to town on you and she's got her dance moves down. She's at the pole dancing classes and you're like, fuck, dude, we're doing this again. I mean, I can get into it. Where's my, man, I need some Cialis right now because this is like, I'm 50 years old. Like, I'm going to need to perform 12 nights in a row like this. This is a show. This is a show. I'm probably going to last 3 hours because I've drained the casino. There's nothing left. What are we going to do? So when it comes down to the following, this is where my breakthrough happened. It's where yours is happening too. If presence and being here is where we're at, then we can observe all of this and we're not attached to any of it. We can create out of desire. Why do you want to create this? I don't need it. I don't even really want it, but I'd like to experience something new. But if I don't, I'm here. All my wife dancing for me, stripping for me, doing all the things she did for me was a performance to try to please and perform for me. But the thing that broke our marriage wasn't her dancing for me. She's not a stripper for anyone else, just for me. It wasn't her doing things for me. It was her feeling seen by my presence. Seeing her beyond her breasts and her ass and her body. Seeing her beyond being a mom, being a producer. Just, do you want me? Do you want me if I stopped all the fitness and I stopped making this body banging? Would you still want me? Which is the same question I had. If I stopped making all this money and we're not doing the trips and we don't go drive the cars, do you still want me? In the end, I believe that all of it's actually connected to one faulty thing that started in the fall in the Garden of Eden, which was man found a lie, which is, if I take of this fruit, I'll become something I'm not already. If I have more, I'll be more. But there was nothing more to be. We already were everything perfect.
I already told you, more is less, right?
Yeah.
We're talking the kitchen.
Yeah.
More is less.
Now, answer me this, because dudes will hear us say this. Yeah, but you dicks have yachts and jets and Ferraris and Lamborghinis and houses. So it's hard for somebody who hasn't produced it to like comprehend that. So how do you speak to somebody?
I've been asked this question a billion times, brother.
Well, it's hard when you retire at 28 because you crush so big. Because this is the trap, and if you're watching, it's a trap, and I get it because I'd have been in the trap too.
You know, and I'm gonna answer it the same way. Enjoy the journey. Do not rush to get there. If you have the goals to have fucking jets, have fucking be worth $1 billion or $1 trillion, enjoy the journey. Don't look for the shortcuts, and then don't look for the instant gratification. Because the person you become on the journey, that's what's gonna get you, and it's gonna get you like fulfillment life. When you just focus on the money and focus what the money can buy, you're gonna be miserable and you're gonna be suicidal like me. Yeah. That's it, and it's easy to say money doesn't bring happiness when you have it. It's easy. And you know, money is the greatest thing. Don't take me wrong. I mean, it's an amazing thing. It buys freedom, but it definitely buys time, but it doesn't bring happiness.
The crazy part is money buys a certain level of freedom.
Yeah,
but the freedom that we're all actually looking for is beyond any of it.
I have a friend. I did a podcast. He got 16 lives in jail. And he was pardoned by Obama. We're sitting in my other mansion, 50-foot ceilings, everything. And he's like, Jarek, that was the first wake-up call. You asked me, like, when they're like, I have a lot of wake-up calls. And he goes, like, he was in the cell, like 10 by 10, alone. And he was, like, happy. He was free. And we're in the kitchen, brother. And I'm looking at my fucking house. And I'm looking all this shit, and I drop my tear. I'm like, motherfucker, I create this emotional jail, and I live in it. And I'm fucking miserable. This motherfucker's got 16 lives in jail, live in a cell alone. And he was fucking happy. He got everything he needed. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what am I missing? But again, same word. Zero connection with myself. Zero presence. Always chasing. Always validation from outside. Bigger, more, better, quicker. More trophies. More followers. More, more. And more is truly less. But I think you're not gonna know the more is truly less until you get to certain level. But whatever the certain level you got into, to build this, it's a lot harder, and it's like going to the gym. You know what I mean? Because it's just speak to yourself, speak to your own ego, speak to your own heart, is the hardest thing. And being alone, being truly alone with yourself. Like truly, like date yourself, be with yourself. It's a hard thing. And what happened is we don't take care of ourselves, and we spend the most fucking time with ourselves. We concentrate on wives, we concentrate on kids, we concentrate on businesses, and we fucking forget about us. What about us? Like, we spend the most time with ourselves. Yeah, me later. I pay myself later until it's too late.
You could do this
So
financially.
that's my
they
answer.
Do it spiritually, they do it emotionally. They do it all the time. And this is like the message that you're bringing. The message I'm bringing is a different message. And we live in a time where, if you look at what's happening to our teenagers in our early 20s, all of our kids in this age group, their addiction to more is so big.
Brother, if we don't fucking wake them up, then who's gonna?
They're done.
Dude, we already have this year alone. We already got 600,000 suicide by men.
Yep.
What the fuck is July?
Yep.
And that's suicide already committed. They already are like the successful. Like, I don't know if you can say it. Suicide. What about the attempts?
And it's
What
not
about
just-
depression?
It's not
What
just
about
passing from the
what are
dads.
it's,
Kids are worse. The kids are going to be worse. The 20-somethings are going to be worse. The pressure on young people right now to be something that they think they should be when we have arrived at it in our 40s and 50s. They feel like they should be there in their early 20s. On top of this, sexuality has gotten so fucked up. Everything is disconnection. Nobody's actually connected. I was talking to a bunch of young guys here in Miami. They're like, dude, it's impossible to date. I was like, what do you mean? Everybody cheats on everybody. Like, you're always constantly worried that the person you're with that they're going to cheat on. I'm going to cheat on me. These are young people not married in their 20s. The image of how much money they should have, the cars they should drive, because they have a global comparison. Imagine being a young guy now. Okay, you're dating a girl. You think she's beautiful. She thinks you're attractive. But online every day, she gets social validation from men all over the world for posting bikini shots.
Oh, brother, don't go
This
there.
guy, no matter how good looking he is, and no matter how good looking she is, he can go out and find any one of 1,000 women around the world who have filtered photos that look better than the gorgeous woman she's with. I've sat with these guys, they're getting engaged. They're like, dude, I don't know, am I selling out? I'm looking at the girl and I'm looking at him, and I was like, you're fucking retarded. She's gorgeous and she loves you and she cares for you. Yeah, but I feel like I'm not, I don't know. Other young guys I'm talking to here in Miami,
But
same
that's-
situation.
But get rid of what it is. That's because I've been in the game. It's the insecurities I carry.
Yeah.
So what happened is getting a new chick. It was a validation. I still got it.
Yep.
This was like, dude, I got. Can you imagine 46 years old, wealthy motherfucker? I think I'm fucking, like, my body is fucking good because I was always in sports, wealthy in fucking Miami.
Probably.
Dude, I could not, I was, and then we're not talking about hookers. I was getting late 4 times a fucking day. Those chicks were like fighting. They were like exchanging. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And now imagine being 20, and then I'm on the highest level, like not financially, emotionally, mentally, and I'm like a fucking little kid. Fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
This is fucked up.
Yeah.
And then on the end of the day, because I got betrayed by my woman, so what happened is now I hate women, and I have 4 daughters. I'm like, what the fuck, Jarek? Wake the fuck up.
This is the decision that we're both making as men.
I'm gonna give all the pain to my daughters. I'm gonna give all the pain to my son. And I have to face, like you said, face the fucking truth. But I got it. I still got it. Like I could run circle around the 20, even though, dude, I was fucking the women. Because they were only 20, they didn't have what I have.
Yep.
But my soul was fucking destroyed.
How's it feel now to be in a committed relationship with Jessica?
Fuck. You know, it's a happiest moment. It's having the peace and knowing that you loved unconditionally, no matter what. And even though, like, I still have triggers, I still have fucking my rants going, you know, I lose my shit, and just knowing that I can't describe the feeling that I give it permission to be, not number one, first I have to give permission to be loved and receive the love. And I'm telling you, I have the best fucking sex, not even having sex. Like, I understand now intimacy is not only fucking putting dick into the pussy. That's not what intimacy is anymore. Like, you know, like, dude, like 2 days ago, we woke up, we have this amazing conversation from 2 to like 5 a.m. Like, dude, we connected on the deeper level that we ever connect. This was like, I can't even describe it. Like goosebumps, cries, and like, you know what I mean? It's like, holy shit.
This is what they call, this is what's called soul sex.
Yeah.
It's the ability to transcend both the body and have a connection with souls.
The energy without having that.
It's a weird thing to describe to people until they've experienced it, which is like an orgasm that's beyond the physical body.
Yeah.
That actually makes the idea of an orgasm with your penis something that's in the way of the thing you actually want. Until you've had a lot of sex and you've had a lot of options, you've done the thing, it's hard to imagine. Just like it's hard to imagine for somebody who has no money that you could have a ton of fucking money and be miserable. They can't understand it.
You know what? If you have whatever at the level you are in, if you cannot have a conversation with yourself or you cannot have a conversation with your partner, you fucking alone, brother.
Yep.
And it's so fucked up being on the top and being fucking lonely.
Yeah.
But when you feel your own soul and your own fucking heart, you're never gonna be alone. Because you're gonna love to fucking spend time with yourself. And when you're gonna love time with yourself, you're gonna fucking, all the partners and all the kids, everybody else gonna love to spend time with you because you kind of spread different fucking energy. Yeah. And I'm not saying this is like, we have a conversation like this all the time, but it was very meaningful for me in the last week. I mean, this was better than fucking the best sex ever. I mean, I like to have sex, don't take me wrong. I mean, dude, don't let's fucking shit. This shit is on the camera, but
of course.
But it was like, that's a different intimacy.
Yeah.
You know, different love.
I do.
Dude, like I know I can fucking fuck it up, and I know I'm gonna be there. I'm not gonna be fucking, you know, trash. I'm not gonna be kicked. I mean, the anger is gonna be there. Like even this morning, like right before I left to see you, you know, we got in fight, and then I was leaving, and we just kissed. And it's like, I'm still angry at you. I love you, but I'm still angry at you. I'm like, babe, I deserve this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just knowing, and but it's still work. It's only 6 years. It's still work. I'm not 23. Still a lot of fights, but I think it's a progress.
Yeah.
But I think it's. Garrett, it starts with us. Like,
Yeah.
it's truly us. And then the rest, I think it comes. And I know it says two to tango, but just do the work. Do the work. But don't expect like you suddenly change, you go to your event or any events or, you know, Tony Robbins or Raul or Manny Norina, and suddenly you're going to come home and then suddenly like, yeah, babe, I'm going to fucking change. Dude, and suddenly you do the work, then you think you do the work, a month later, you know, your wife is not jumping on the same wagon. Dude, prove yourself first, motherfucker, for a few years. Oh, yeah, my wife. No, dude, it's not your wife. Look at me. It wasn't. It was me. And that's what the 20 years old right now got against them. Because betrayal is it's painful, brother.
Yeah.
It's painful.
Very, very painful. Well, we're setting a standard for a new way of living. And it's helpful. And to those that listen, some will do something with it, and some will just listen. Go to the next podcast. Go to the next YouTube video. Watch the next TikTok. Watch the next Instagram reel. And eventually they'll get it, or they will die and never get it. And most will die and never get it. And that's the hardest part. There's people listening to this right now that will never get it.
But those that get it, maybe even 5 years from now, 10 years from now, good for them.
Yeah, there'll be some. There'll be some that get it right away from this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, right away.
Brother. Guys, I told you it's going to be a good podcast.
Like the marathon
I
podcast,
told
bro.
you.
We just broke the Joe Rogan record. We went like hour and a half inside, hour outside. I like it.
Guys, hopefully you can connect, relate, figure out like what you want to do. Hopefully it was very helpful. Garrett, where people can find you?
Man, it's real simple. Our greatest entry point at Warrior is warriorbook.com. We send out thousands of books. It has all our curriculum in it, our tools for guys. We proved it now, 70,000 guys over the last 13 years. Our tools work. Our stuff works for a specific type of man. But we have tons of men that pick it up, women that pick the book up for their husbands or boyfriends or sons. But it's a great place to start. You can get it for free, pay for the shipping. We'll send you the book. You can pick that up at warriorbook.com. Great place to start.
Perfect. And guys, remember, you got everything within you. I'm not selling you anything. Sell yourself and, on yourself and do the work and love life. We got to go through the top and through the bottom, and that's what life is all about. I want you to experience all the emotions, all the feelings, and unfortunately, if you're going through whatever you're going through the hard time, I need you to reach out to one person, anybody, just talk, and it's going to go better. Remember. And if you're going through the shit, share the story, because somebody else is going through the worst shit than you are going right now. Love life. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you having me here, Jarek. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Leave your comments and subscribe for more insights on mastering the inner and outer wealth.